Marco da Silva from Grand Transformers. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Really well, yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Just as a way of intro, do you want to give us a quick update on what your business is and how it began and where it is now?
Sure. The company's called Grand Transformers, and it's been around since the 1930s in the field of manufacturing electrical transformers and related power supplies. It's had an interesting journey going through all the different stages of a 90-year history, working through unions, diversifying into elevators, wash tools, and then going back to its core focus of transformers. The company had up to 100 employees at one point, and moved down to 3 employees at one point. And then I got involved in the business about 6 years ago. We had about 4 employees left, and I thought, well, a business that's been around since 1931 with the proud heritage like that has to do something. So we got our hands stuck into the business, and the business has substantially increased in size over the last 6 years, and we've expanded our product portfolio to service the various sectors that we play in. And of course, mining has played a big role in that, but we're quite fortunate in that we service multiple sectors from oil and gas to commercial, industrial, and of course, the mining space is always a key sector.
Awesome. So what has been the change that you instigated that has taken you to this growth?
I think, when I got involved in the business in 2017, the first thing I thought, well, it's a nice small business, probably just breaking even. And when a business is at that size, it's quite easy to implement strong structures and systems that support potential future growth. So the first priority was to go around implementing ISO systems around quality management, strict protocols and processes that people could adopt and understand. So that was a key activity, I think, that really helped the business. And so we got that going, and then alongside that, just reinforced our customer focus and customer orientation, and just letting the customers know we have a genuine care for what we do and for their successful outcomes. And so, the more we cared about our customer, the more successful we became.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot behind that, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and word of mouth is a key thing for any business's success. So if you're doing the right things, and you could continue to do the right things over and over, the word will spread that these are a good bunch of guys, and someone you want to associate yourself with.
Yeah, absolutely. And has that been your biggest learning in business? That's the focus you've got to keep, or has there been something else that's contributed?
I mean, for me, it's always been about customer focus. That's always been the number one priority. But I also know with what allows one to have customer focus is a background structure that is sound and effective to support processes that result in a quality product being produced and supplied to the customer. Because if you're not delivering the right solution, and you're not keeping your promises, it's going to be quite hard to retain that customer. And my view in life is that, and in business, is that it's much cheaper to retain customers than to go look for new customers. So we really work hard on our existing customer base and make sure we're servicing them to the best of our ability.
That's awesome to hear, because there's so many businesses that don't, or they struggle with that concept. Yeah, good to hear. In terms of your inspiration and your personal motivation, how do you keep yourself motivated?
I like to be challenged. And so as the business grows, I get challenged to think out the box, to work harder, to make sure that we are finding ways to be competitive in our market space, and to help grow other people and mentor people that require it in the business, and see the benefit of that mentorship, helping the business continue to do the right things. So that I think that's, I mean, it's not something I think about as an obvious point every day, but I do certainly love business, and I have a deep passion for entrepreneurship, and I've been involved in businesses at a equity level for many years now, from my early 20s. So that is sort of my gig. I like to own businesses, and I like to run them, and I like to help people in the business, and I like to help our suppliers and customers as well.
So you're working on very much, if you help others, they'll help you achieve what you want to get out of business.
Yeah, my philosophy is what you put out there comes back to you. And sometimes if you do the good things, it comes back tenfold.
Yeah, exactly right. Is there anyone that inspires you particularly?
I mean, I've been being a South African. Of course, I always think of people like Elon Musk that's done some unbelievable things. And of course, I'd aspire to be as good as him if all the stars aligned. I mean, it's a big ambition, but we have to shoot high.
Absolutely.
But certainly someone like an Elon Musk is someone I would consider exceptional.
He's doing all right, isn't he?
He's a clever man.
He's got an amazing brain. The way he thinks and the way he does things is almost superhuman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, just one last question. Now we're coming through the post-COVID side of life. What are the changes that you've had in your business since COVID came about?
It's a good question. I mean, I think we're a pretty modern business in how we go about doing our employee engagement, and that probably serviced us reasonably well during COVID. It was also helpful that we were considered an essential services business in terms of the products we manufactured. So we were able to continue to produce and operate through that period. And basically, I just try to take a common sense approach to each individual in the business and how they deemed or perceived COVID and all of the policies and regulations around that. And so that was an interesting challenge where some people were quite happy to be vaccinated, others were not happy to be vaccinated. And I certainly don't believe in enforcing certain things on people that they deem unacceptable to themselves. So, we made sure we were always compliant with the rules and regulations, but try to be flexible with each individual and their requirements. And prior to that, we were already allowing flexible working hours we're a manufacturing business, so everybody's got to be at work. But some people have kids to drop off in the morning and other people have kids to pick up in the afternoon. And, families are really important to me. And I certainly feel for every single employee that's in our businesses, that if they have a desire to go and fetch the kids in the afternoon, or they want to drop the kids off in the morning, that's good. Let's work out the hours, and you come in at that time and you work we do 38 hours a week, and you get your 8 or 7 hours at whatever time, and you finish knock off at a later time in the afternoon. So it's just being flexible, reasonable, and understanding of each individual's needs. But of course, having a red line where you can only do so much. There's a point where you have to say that's as far as we can go, because we know what our business structures require. And that served us well, just common sense conversations with people, and they understand what we need and we understand what they need, and we come to some middle ground, and it's worked really well for us. So we've been quite fortunate in being able to navigate that COVID period as a business, and have continued to thrive through that period. And we have our staff stick with us and are loyal to us, and we're loyal to them and look after them and send them on training where possible to help them grow as individuals. So it's a give and take situation.
Yeah. Nice work. It absolutely is. One last question from me. What's the one bit of advice you'd give people in business at the moment that's helped you the most?
I would certainly tell them not to jump on the bandwagon of popular voice, but to look at their individual needs and look for people that can mentor them in their specific space and give them some sound basic advice in terms of taking the right steps to grow their businesses, and certainly not taking on more risk than they can handle.
Good words of encouragement. Marco da Silva, thank you very much.
You're welcome.